If you're thinking of moving your family to the Cincinnati area and you are not considering Westchester, you might be making a huge mistake, because this is a spot where families are getting everything they want, from top-rated schools to these enormous green spaces and fantastic parks to a safe environment to raise their kids. This is a spot where so many people are getting a true sense of community, loving where they live, and they're avoiding all of the city headaches. Hey guys, welcome in. My name's Eric. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Sztanyo Clanyo. Jump on in, feel free. My team, we help people all the time who are looking to move to the Cincinnati area. We help them relocate. We're kind of relocating specialists at this point, whether you're looking to buy a resale home or new construction. That's what we do all the time. Our tagline at our company is to help you find your home, strengthen your family. And fun fact, our logo is a bridge. It's the Roebling Bridge. It's pretty awesome downtown, but the top part of it means the idea of the bridge to help you find your home. The bottom part of it, it's subtle, but it's a dining room table, because we want to help you strengthen your family as well. And I can't think of many other places around the Cincinnati area that is more conducive to helping you strengthen your family than right here in Westchester Township. I mean, this place is pretty great, guys. It kind of has a little bit of everything. Welcome back into the Sztanyo Vanyo. We're doing a driving tour today. You guys seem to really like the tour that we did in Union, Kentucky, and thought we'd do another one today. So we are heading up north. We're kind of on the east side of town, just north of Pendleton area in the O'Brienville section of Cincinnati, where our Keller Williams office just moved. And we're about to hop on 71 North. We'll take the northward lateral over to 75 and head up to the north side of town to Westchester Township, or Westchester as most people call it around here, to give you guys a feel for the parks, you know, the schools, kind of the business environment. We'll take a look at some of the neighborhoods as well, and the homes and prices and what you can exactly get there. But we like doing these driving tours so you guys can actually get a feel of what it's like being here in Cincinnati. It's hard to figure those things out when you're looking at the map, when you're just searching online and thinking about moving to an area. So hope this video is helpful for you guys today. All right, guys, we are turning right from Dana Avenue onto I-71 North. We're kind of leaving the Hyde Park area, the Smith Road, Edwards Road exit. We'll be heading up a little bit northwest over to Westchester. Now, this Rookwood area, I actually really do like. Some great shopping there, REI, some great restaurants. You got a Whole Foods right there. This is a really nice area of town. If you ever want to come down, do some shopping and have some nice restaurants, but you don't want to go all the way downtown, the Rookwood area is a really nice area to hang out at. All right, so we're heading up I-75 North. We're kind of passing the Sharonville, Evendale area. A lot of manufacturing in this part of town, a lot of jobs. GE Aerospace has a plant over here. And so Westchester is about, depending on where you're at, 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes away from right downtown Cincinnati. I always go to the Great American Ballpark in terms of my reference point. So you get all of these benefits up in this suburb in terms of the schools, the family friendliness, the lifestyle, the safety, the jobs, all of these things that come only about 25 minutes away from downtown Cincinnati. So it's pretty great. You know, if you're shopping for suburbs around the Cincinnati area, a lot of it comes down to what is it exactly you're looking for. Do you want to be kind of in an older part of Cincinnati, neighborhoods like Marymount or Madeira or Hyde Park, where you've got more of that urban feel, you're closer into downtown? Or do you want more of that suburb feel? You want more of those sidewalks, cul-de-sac feel, you know, a lot of maybe youth athletics and strong schools? Well, those areas are typically going to be kind of around the ring of I-275 circling around Cincinnati. So we're heading up to Westchester today, but if you just kind of make your way around the city, you're looking at places like Mason, you're looking at places like Loveland, like Milford, like Batavia, like Anderson Township. And then on the Kentucky side, you're looking at Alexandria and Independence and Union, Kentucky, Florence, Kentucky, Burlington, Hebron. Those are the areas that are going to have a little bit more of a suburb feel, where these neighborhoods, you'll see it when we get into here. Not that all the houses look alike, but they've got that very safe suburb feel. And you're going to be 20, 25 minutes away from Cincinnati. And here we are, we're actually coming up on Westchester. You'll see off to the left, you've got IKEA. Off to the right up here in a little bit, you've got Topgolf. So you know you're getting those like strong suburb vibes already when you've got a IKEA and a Topgolf. You know, you're starting to know you're hitting into the sweet spot of suburb land. But this is a great entertainment section with Sonder Brewing, Topgolf. You've got the main event over here as well. It's a fun place. You don't have to drive all the way into downtown Cincinnati to enjoy some entertainment. You've got a lot of that right here in Westchester. You know, off to my left, you've got a few hotels as well. You've got Homewood Suites, you've got a Marriott and a few others. You've got a pretty large business district over here, a lot of commercial office space. A lot of times people are flying in, whether it's to CVG or even to the Dayton airport. They might come in You can have business clients come in, stay at these hotels. It's kind of its own little hub, its own economy here in Westchester because it's such a strategic placement right between Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. All right, so we're passing Tylersville Road. Again, a lot of shopping, a lot of restaurants right there. And my family's favorite Chinese buffet, Twin Dragon Buffet off of Tylersville Road. We'll make the trip all the way from Fort Thomas to come up here. We'll make the 30-minute trip because it is that good. Highly recommend it. Off to my right, you've got UC Health. So this is a major employer here in Westchester. And just to orient you guys, we're gonna get off at Liberty Way. So we're kind of going to the northeast corner of Westchester first, and then we'll kind of make our way back south a little bit. Westchester Township is in Butler County. It's actually the largest township in all of Ohio. It's in Butler County, so we're out of Hamilton County. Talk about what that means from a tax standpoint in a little bit. And just to the north of Westchester Township is gonna be Liberty Township. And one of the places we're actually gonna go see in a little bit is Liberty Center, which is really on the border between Westchester Township and Liberty Township. But I want you guys to see that shopping center because it's new and pretty cool. But we are getting off at the Liberty Way exit here in Butler County, and we're gonna head over to VOA Park and show you guys what's going on there. Now, I mentioned UC Health off the exit. You also have Tri-Health. So a couple of large employers just from the healthcare standpoint up here in Westchester. All right, so we are turning left from Cox Road into Voice of America Park. You've also got a Miami University Regional Center here, the Voice of America Learning Center. And you can guys see here, there's the Lake Trailhead Athletic Complex, the Miami Learning Center, and the Ronald Reagan Lodge all here. All right, guys, so I think I made a few ducks get wet that maybe didn't want to get wet this morning, but you guys can see here at Voice of America Park, I mean, this is really beautiful, right? You've got the lake, so you can kayak, you can go out on these paddle boards, walking all day long, so perfect for trails. You got playgrounds for the kids. This is really kind of a hub, a central point for the community. I mean, 435 acres, like it's really pretty. Great place to get out, get healthy, get some exercise in. There's always gonna be some community events here. They're gonna have fireworks shows here. These are some of the advantages that come with living in the suburbs that are harder to get if you're choosing, you know, somewhere like Marymount or Hyde Park or somewhere that's more central and more urban inside of the city. You know, parks like these, Keener Park is another one here in Westchester Township. That one's gonna be a lot more in the trees. You're gonna have trails, you're gonna have creeks. You know, you can go exploring in terms of being more inside of the woods there at Keener Park, whereas this one's a little bit more open air. But you know, these are why so many people like living out here, is when you have access to such a beautiful park like this one. So today, guys, I'm gonna walk you through why so many families keep choosing Westchester Township. You're getting top-rated schools like the Lakota School District. You're getting these amazing green spaces and parks, and you're getting all this while only being 25 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. So you're not sacrificing all of the amenities that being downtown gets you. And that's exactly why Westchester is maybe one of the most balanced places to live in all of Cincinnati, and why so many families are choosing to live right here. In fact, Westchester consistently ranks as one of the top 5 safest areas in the Cincinnati metro year after year. One thing to note here is you're not actually in Hamilton County. You're not actually in the city of Cincinnati. Here you're in Westchester Township in Butler County. And so Westchester has its own fire department. It has its own police department, and they are known for their fast response time. They're well beloved by the community because they do such a good job. And they're also known for having their visible neighborhood patrols. And so if safety is high on your list in terms of that's what I want, I'm coming from an area that doesn't have that, or maybe you do have that and you want that again, Westchester's a great place to be in terms of safety for you and your family. So clean streets, well-maintained parks, and strong local services, those are things that families love while living here. I mean, you can let your kids go out and play on their bikes, you can let them walk to school, all with the peace of mind knowing like they're fine. Like this is a very safe place to be. And that's a huge deal for families, you know, where you can just be like, I can let my kids play in the neighborhood and know that they're going to be back and they're going to be safe and they're going to be fine. That's rare to find, but you can find it here in Westchester. Well, all right, guys, we are back in the Sztanyo Vanyo. I'm not going to lie, that park is lovely. Like I feel more peace just from being out in the sunshine and walking around the trails a little bit. So we're gonna drive around that and then we'll make our way over to the Liberty Center so you guys get a feel for that area. You know, one of the things I'm spotting in the distance is another development. This is just a large place of growth. So I'm sitting at this intersection and I see this large development. It looks like some apartments being built up ahead. And I'm looking at the interstate signs and it's Cincinnati to the south and Dayton to the north. And that's one reason why there's so many people here, is that this is kind of a hub. This is a great spot for growth and development right in between the cities of Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. So a lot of jobs are coming in, a lot of businesses. businesses are happening right here in Westchester because it's such a great central location between those two cities. Off to my left, you've got a Costco wholesale. And so a lot of times people who are moving here from other states, you know, they say, I want to be within 15, 20 minutes of the nearest Costco. I'm like, I got you. Larger families, I get it. I have 5 kids myself. I understand that Costco is kind of a must. Off to my left, we also have a Barrington Center, so that's going to be some senior living as well. So similar to Union, Kentucky, if you are the grandparents and you want to be closer to your kids, we've got a lot of families here, but a lot of times the grandparents want to be near their kids and grandchildren. There's a lot of housing options in terms of townhomes, in terms of condos, in terms of first floor living as well in this Westchester area, so you can be close to your grandkids. All right, so we're turning from Butler Warren onto Tylersville Road. And I mentioned some of the shopping off of Tylersville Road earlier, so we're coming up on some of that space. You've got the Fresh Market, which is kind of like a Whole Foods store here locally. You've got Target, you've got Kohl's, you know, there's a Panda Express right here. There's a Chick-fil-A, PetSmart, TJ Maxx. They're getting some of those, you know, well-known suburb stores and restaurants. Panera Bread, there's a Longhorn Steakhouse, there's a Kroger right off my left. You know, I'm looking around here too. You've got Miyako, which is a hibachi and sushi shop. You got a Walgreens, Krispy Kreme donuts. You got a Big Lots and Ross, so for some more affordables shopping over there. All right, so we're getting off of Liberty Way exit again. There's an iFly right off the interstate here if you want to do some indoor skydiving. So again, some fun entertainment options here in Westchester. And off to my right up ahead, you'll see the Dillards. You'll start to see some of these shops. Dick's Sporting Goods. This is the Liberty Town Center. So we're pulling into the Liberty Center. You guys can get a feel for some of the shopping that is here. Feels a little bit like Kenwood Mall here in Cincinnati, to be quite honest, but you don't have to be right in town. Again, you're getting all these amenities out here in the suburbs. So you've got a Dillard's, you've got a Sephora shop up here. There's a Cheesecake Factory right up ahead. There's a Brio Tuscan Grill, Warby Parker. I'm just kind of driving through here to give you guys a feel. And there is some housing over here. So whether you want to rent or there's some actually luxury townhomes, Fisher Homes has a location called Towns of Weatherington right across the street that has some upscale luxury townhomes. And then you could be walkable to all this shopping, all these restaurants right here. And that could be a challenge to get that walkability in a place in the suburbs like this. Usually you got to have your car to get everywhere, but there are some housing options where you can have access to all of this great shopping right here and still be walkable. There's a Grater's ice cream right there. So you guys can see, even compared to Union, Kentucky, this is way more developed. So if you're okay being on the Ohio side, if you've got jobs in this location, you can just see all these different shops, Dry Goods, Bath and Body Works, Jake's Toggery, there's a Lululemon, you got an Express Men. So kind of really this outdoor upscale mall feel. So you guys can kind of see why not only families, but honestly, you know, empty nesters, retirees, young professionals would all love living around this area. This great open air shopping, tons of shops, tons of restaurants, easy to spend an afternoon here, very safe, very clean, well managed. It's just a great place to hang out, spend a day, and feel really great about it. You know, other areas to have fun here, there's a cinema here, so if you want to catch a movie, there's a splash park here, so if the kids want to jump through the fountains, they can do that. Just a great place to hang out, have a good time. It's really a spot where this suburban convenience kind of marries up to that urban energy. So you get the best of both worlds here. Again, that's why so many people love it. All right, so we are back at the Sztanyo. We're heading out of Liberty Town Center. I actually do just want to go across the street since we are here and show you guys the Towns of Weatherington by Fisher Homes. And I've had a bunch of buyers interested in these. Like I said, it could be young professionals, it could be a couple who doesn't have kids yet, or empty nesters, or people looking to retire. These are very attractive because of what is across the street. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of walkability. That's one of the downsides of being out here in the suburbs is like typically you need to have a car, right? You're jumping in and you're driving 5, 10, 15 minutes anywhere you're going. If you're going downtown, you're 25 minutes. But here, you know, these are some options of some luxury townhomes. These are low maintenance options. So all the landscaping, all the mowing, the snow removal, all that's done for you. And you can be walkable to all the shopping and all the amenities of the Liberty Town Center right across the street. Now, these townhomes are starting in the mid 400s and up into the 500s as well. Not super inexpensive, but again, a nice option. Some of these are going to have garages. So a good place to live. And you can see a lot of of these are built out already, and they're still building some as we speak. And I always say this, but if you're thinking new construction in the Cincinnati area, and there's some new construction areas left in Westchester, not a whole lot. This is kind of one of them. There's some builders, there's Drees Homes, Fisher Homes, MI Homes, does some building out here in the area, John Henry Homes as well. I always recommend that you reach out to us, a real estate agent, first before you fill out a form on a builder's website, before you go into a model home. If you are thinking of new construction, it's just another reason, reach out to us first. You can hit the contact info on the screen. Another great way to get in touch with us is that we have a free relocation guide. Our clients love this guide because we're listing out areas like Westchester and different areas around town, helping you get to know the schools, the amenities, and everything in that guide. It's over 20 pages. It's completely free. There's a QR code on the screen, so be sure to check that out. All right, so we just headed down south a few exits, more into kind of old, traditional Westchester, not up by Union Town Center, and we are going to be heading into the square at Union Center here. Looks like they're doing a little bit of construction here on the square, but you guys can see a lot of businesses around here. We kind of drove by this on the interstate before, but you can see all these different commercial buildings off to my right and around, kind of circling the town center here. We've got some apartments off to my left, some restaurants and shopping around here as well, but this is a place that's kind of a community hub here at the square at the Union Town Center. So when you think about Westchester and you're thinking suburb and you're thinking family friendly, you might not realize how many local businesses are here. It's one of the top job centers in all of Ohio. There are over 3,700 businesses in Westchester, and it employs over 55,000 people. And so what are you looking for when you're looking to move, where you're looking to raise your family? You're looking for jobs, right? You're looking for opportunity. We definitely have that here in Westchester. We mentioned some of the healthcare industry before with UC Health and Tri-Health, but other major employers in the area include Procter & Gamble, GE Aviation, Amazon. So there are thousands and thousands of jobs here, all within minutes of these residential homes and these residential spaces. Here in the town center, there's kind of these office plexes nearby, but the professional jobs aren't just the offices. What you're really seeing is a lot of growth in the advanced manufacturing space, in the life science space, in the logistics space. As I mentioned before, because this is such a strategic location between Cincinnati and Dayton. So one thing that's really nice about that is even though you're 25 minutes from downtown Cincinnati, probably gonna have a shorter commute. You might have a job right here out here in Westchester and not have to drive to downtown. So there's shorter commutes. The other thing is you've got so many people here and so many strong businesses that you've got a really, really solid tax base. And what's great about Westchester is that this is an area that's going to take those tax dollars and reinvest it back into the community. It's a reason why I'm looking at Lakota West High School right now, right across the street here, but it's a reason why these school districts are rated so strongly is because the township takes a lot of that tax revenue and they reinvest it right back into the community, right back into the schools. It all kind of works together, and it's working really well right now. So let's talk about the taxes for a minute. I mentioned before that this is not Hamilton County, this is Butler County. This is not the city of Cincinnati, this is Westchester Township. So the median effective tax rate here in Westchester is 1.35%. You compare that to the city of Cincinnati, which is 2.38%. That's a 76% difference. Now, I will say the property values are going to be higher here, so you might be paying as much tax as within the city of Cincinnati. And by the way, guys, these are the things why you should reach out to us, because we understand when it comes to trying to save on taxes or trying to find neighborhoods or amenities that work well for your family or your life situation. We know these things around town. So please reach out to us. We would love to be your real estate team of choice. Contact info is on the screen, or go ahead and download that relocation guide for free. If you're not ready to buy or sell right now, we get it. It's fine. Not everyone's ready to buy or sell a home. Maybe you're just looking, maybe even just shopping cities right now. But if you're taking a look at Cincinnati and specifically Westchester, download that relocation guide, but give us a call. We'd love to talk with you sooner rather than later and just see if we can make a plan. All right, so let's talk about these schools for a minute, because again, this is another huge reason why people want to live and move to Westchester. Lakota Schools is one of the largest school districts in all of Ohio. It's the 7th largest in the state, and it's consistently ranked as one of the top performing school districts in all of Ohio. Families get drawn here for the award-winning academic programs, the strong athletics, the modern and updated campuses as well. If you're putting your kids through public school, there's a lot to like about this school district. And we mentioned those property taxes are lower from a median rate, but again, there's so many people here and there's so much business here that there's a lot of tax dollars to invest back into the school system. And that's what happens here. The district invests really heavily into technology, into personalized learning, and that's what's going to keep those property values staying strong and just really starts building that positive momentum. And that's what's going on here in Westchester. All right, guys, we have shown you parks, we have shown you shopping centers, we've shown you the business district. It's time to look at what is it like to actually live here in Westchester. So we're gonna drive through some neighborhoods. We're kind of heading up into the Beckett Ridge area right now, and you can find some houses in here. Typically, they're gonna be in the 400s, up to the 600,000s as well. But again, beautiful neighborhoods. People are taking care of their homes, as you guys can see. You're gonna have sidewalks, you're gonna have walking trails. The nice thing about a neighborhood like this as well is it's not new. These homes are probably built in the late 90s, early 2000s. And so you've got these trees that are 30 years old. You're not messing with new construction, popping tires with nails and all of that. If you're living in a community like this, and you get a great neighborhood, you're close to the schools, tons of neighbors for your kids to play with, really nice neighborhoods here. And they're gonna be a blend, right? You're gonna have some families that are a little bit older who have already raised their kids and maybe they're still in their homes. And then you're gonna have some turnover in the community where younger families are moving in as well. So right now we're heading up Eagle Ridge Drive here in Westchester. We're just north of the Union Town Center, and we're making our way up to another neighborhood. There's a house that we're gonna get in that I'm gonna show you guys so you can see the details of what it's like to live in one of these houses. Off here to my right is Freedom Elementary School. We've got a few ball fields here. There's Beckett Station neighborhood off to my left. And right here on the corner, you've got Lakota Ridge Junior High School. Great schools. They're kind of tucked into the community here, right close to all these residential homes. We're now going to go through this roundabout, and we are heading north now on LaSwordsville Westchester Road. As I mentioned before, there's some new construction single family up here, Dries Homes at Caravelle. That's a little bit getting into Liberty Township instead of Westchester. A lot of the housing stock that you're going to find in Westchester is already built. So not a ton of new construction homes. Again, a lot of these houses are going to be probably between 20 and 30 years old. So we're turning into the Preston Ridge neighborhood. This is on East Senauer Drive. I'll show you guys one of these homes for sale. Most of these homes in the first part of this neighborhood look between 25 and 3,500 square feet. And it looks like we just passed into a new phase of the development. So some of these homes have some larger lots, a little bit bigger homes, and a little bit newer as well. So here's the home we're going to take a look at right in front of us. 5716 East Senauer. Been on the market for, I believe, 11 days right now. Go ahead and pull in here. 3-car garage, brick home, 2-story. Let's go check it out. Kids just getting home from the school bus. Adorable to see siblings who have missed their big brother or big sister. Give them a big hug. I love to see that. All right, so here we are. I'll give you a little details on this one. This is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home, 0.36 acre lot. The HOA, there is an HOA here, but it's only $19 a month. So it's covering kind of your general landscaping, basically at the sign of the front of the neighborhood, and that's about it. But there's probably a few restrictions on what you can and can't do, but 19 bucks a month, pretty affordable there, guys. This is 3,079 square feet. A brick 2-story home. There's a first floor study here, second floor laundry, 3-car garage, and this is listed at $575,000. So what can you get for under $600 here? That's coming in at $187 per square foot. So all the things we've talked about here in Westchester, and you're able to get a home over 3,000 square feet for under $600,000. I don't know about where you live. I don't think there's a whole lot of cities in America that can give you everything that we've talked about here in this video for that kind of price. So let's go check it out. All right, guys, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through and talk through it, what I see here. Coming in the entryway, and by the way, brick entryway, so you've got a little front porch here as well. We've got wood floors coming in, stairs are greeting you, got a hallway here. So come through your dining room into your kitchen. We've got very large island here, granite countertops. Now this home was built in 2015, so it's 10 years old. You got a gas oven here, nice wood cabinets, and you can just see how big this space is here. Open floor plan into your living room. Got a really nice stone brick fireplace. I'll go ahead and show you guys this. You've got a pantry and your kitchen, and we'll hit up this basement. And you know what? Let's go ahead and okay, so a lot of these basements are going to be finished. This one is not. You can see behind me, it's a poured foundation. So everything really kind of 1970 and newer, you'll see that poured foundation in these basements. There's a huge space behind me here, if you guys can see that. So if you wanted to finish this, you certainly could, depending on your levels and what you do to it. I mean, if you do the work yourself or if you hire it, you're probably somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000, something like that. Behind me, you've got your gas furnace over here, got your main water line over here coming in. I see your electric panel. I see see a sump pump, which I love. You see where this concrete has kind of been redone right here? Looks like there wasn't maybe a sump pump originally here, but they dug that in so that all the drainage heads to this sump pump behind me and gets out and keeps this basement nice and dry. Okay, so back in the living room, looks like a gas fireplace right here, but it's outlined in stone. I love that. You can put your TV above the mantle. Then off of the living room, you've got this huge office. In fact, this actually could be noted as a bedroom because you do have a closet space here. You got shelves. You've also got this bump out on the back of the house for this eat-in kitchen. So you've got a dining room and this breakfast room here with all these windows and light. I love that. Take a look at your backyard. All right, paved patio. Love to see this. Got a nice flat backyard, pretty usable up until that hill in the end. And they went ahead and put a fire pit in here with seating. So this is great for the fall, the winters, the springs. You can enjoy the fire pit out here. You've got the fence already in for your pets. You've got some privacy on the back with some greenery from your neighbors behind you. Over there, you've got a neighbor with a hot tub, so you want to make friends with them. And then you can see what we got here. Brick house with some siding up top. And again, it's an only 10-year-old home, so the furnace looks good. You know, the roof's gonna be in good shape. It's a good sized lot. You know, 0.36 acres is really nice. They put trees in, but if you wanted to use this for kids, you could, obviously. You can see kind of with your neighbors again here, you've got some nets for some sports activities in the backyard, but just giving you guys a feel for what you're getting. So coming back in, we got our kitchen. There's our basement down below. It's a little dark in here right now. This is gonna pop out into the garage. But you have a 3-car garage here. So tons of space. Nice snowblower. Maybe that could be sold with the home. Then you got all this extra space for another car or for storage if you want it. So I love that. Let's go back in. You've got, you know, kind of a coat closet right off your garage. And you've got a half bath at the bottom of the stairs here. All right, let's head upstairs. What we're gonna see are 4 bedrooms up here. This is a pretty typical layout, more than likely for a Cincinnati home where you have a 2-story home and 4 bedrooms on the second level. So here is bedroom number 1. This one's not huge. It's probably 9 by 10, I would say. You've got laundry on the second level, which is great. It's right near the kids' room, so you don't have to lug. All right, here's bedroom number 2. Some great light off the front here. All right, here's a hall bath for the kids. And this is clutch right here. Love seeing a dual vanity. Here is bedroom number 3 off the front. Also has that great light. This one had me a little confused, but this is the primary bedroom with an ensuite back here. So you've got a tub, you've got a shower, closet, and dual vanity in here. And this other room, which is huge bonus room up here, is really kind of like your own family, another family rec room. Huge space with this dormer over the garage. So I love that, getting all that light. So if you wanted to have another family room, have movie night up here and not downstairs, or make this a game room for the kids, you got that extra space. But really the room downstairs, which they're calling the study, has a closet, has a window. That could be a 5th bedroom. A lot of people I'm also talking to are looking for a mother-in-law suite. And so this is a home that, you know, if you're looking on the MLS, you would never see that this is like for a mother-in-law or good for multi-generational, because they just listed it as a study, right? But you've got a 1st floor bedroom down there. Now you don't have a full bathroom on that floor. Those are both up here, but you could make it work, and you could have a bedroom down there on that 1st floor. Even this room right here could easily be a 5th bedroom. So kind of make it 6 bedrooms if you throw a closet in that room. There you have it, guys. There's Westchester. I hope that was helpful for you. You got the driving tour, you got the neighborhood tour, you got a little bit of everything. But if you're looking for amazing parks, great lifestyle, great shopping and amenities and restaurants, and a bit of an urban feel out here in the suburbs, kind of some accessible when it comes to the Liberty Town Center, you've got these safe neighborhoods, you've got great schools. There is so much to love here in Westchester, and you can see why so many people are moving here. So many people like living here. It's a great community. We are the #1 real estate YouTube channel here in the Cincinnati area. We love bringing this content, letting you guys see what these neighborhoods are actually like, trying to be real with you guys so you understand what you're getting into before you move here. And we are not gonna stop, we're gonna keep to it. All right, I gotta jump back in the Sztanyo Vanyo because I'm helping one of you guys looking to move down in Union, Kentucky, and got to show a property tonight. So Westchester, Union, a little bit of a hike, but I do it all for you guys. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.